Dear viewers from CCTV and CGTN, good afternoon. And today it is the 7th day of the first lunar month of 2023, and also it is the first work day after the holiday. So right now I'm in the Nansha District, the seaport container terminal. So right now from here, you could see I'm standing on a crane bridge at about 60 meters height. And also you could see a great number of containers. I could say it has over like 10,000 of containers. And also we could see the mouth of the Pearl River, and also you could see many cruises and the boats are parking here. So for the Nansha District, the seaport container terminal, it is largest in the southern part of China, and also it is a comprehensive integrated hub. And every day we will have the loading and unloading of over 49,000 containers. As I said, today it is the first workday after the Spring Festival, and today you could see there were so many trucks shuttling here, and it is quite busy in this area. And in this terminal, you could see so many containers here. How can we sort these containers? How we load and unload the containers? And as I said, for this place, it is an integrated transportation hub. What kind of technology can we use to manage this place? And today we will have a sneak peek of this place. And also I would like to introduce with you a special guest, the Vice Director of the Operating Center in the Nansha District. Good afternoon, everyone. So today is the first work day, and today I could see it is quite busy and bustling here. And also we have so many container trucks traveling back and forth here. So I believe you have done a lot of preparation. Yes, indeed. So actually in our seaport, we work 365 days per year. And during the Spring Festival, it is very busy, and also we prepare sufficient manpower here. For example, we have sufficient drivers, and also we have enough vehicles, so we could deal with the workload during the Spring Festival. So in the seaport, you could see we have so many containers here. So it feels like the rocks that has been played by the kids. And I believe there were so many fresh goods in the containers, and people will get this food from the containers. And also for the whole seaport is quite busy during the Spring Festival. Can you tell us more about the situation here? What is the volume? What is the throughput? So compared to last year, January, we have a 50% increase of the throughput, especially for the cherry season. And we have been transporting a great amount of cherry from Chile. And we unloaded all of this cherry from the cruises, and also we managed the temperature, and we send all of these cherries and fruits and go through the customs. So for the whole workflow, it has been running well. So we have to make sure that 2 hours we complete all the work. Actually, I could picture this. So for the audience, I believe if you ate cherries, maybe some of them are coming from the Nansha District seaport. And actually, for cherry, it's quite fry-dry. So we need to have a very efficient workflow. Can you tell us more about how we handle all of these cherries? Well, for cherries, we have to pay attention to the shelf time. So for example, just like we take care of lychee in the southern part of China, we have to make sure that for all of these cherries, they're fresh. So when we unload all of these cherries, and then we have to send all of these cherries to the customs immediately. For example, we have to prepare the transportation trucks, and also we have to prepare all the forms and documentations to make sure that all the cherries pass the customs immediately. And also for the customs, they gave us a lot of support. And then we will inspect and check the quality of all of these cherries and also send off these cherries to the markets in different parts of China. And from the camera, actually you could see the big picture of how it works in the seaport. So for this cruise, what about the weight? So it is about like 30,000 tons. So for this ship, so we will bring some of the wood materials and packages from the southeast part. And also we are sending out some of the appliances, home appliances from the Greater Bay areas. So right now, I believe we are in the middle part of the Nansha District. Yes, actually, we are in the center of the seaport container terminal, and we are enjoying a very fantastic view. And also for the containers, some of them are quite close to the port, but some of them are far away from the port. Can you tell us more about the philosophy behind it? So, in front of the seaport, you could see some of the red lines, and we have some containers ready in this place. So we have to make sure that for some of the goods, when they're unloaded, we could bring them into the container as soon as possible, and then we will send it to other places. So this is to help to improve the efficiency of the transportation of the goods. So how long have you been working here? I have been working here for about 16 years. I believe you could tell everything in this place. For example, what kind of goods are in the containers? Well, for the containers very close to the seaports, maybe there are some like small appliances, wooden materials, and for other containers, we will put some precious materials inside of them for export. And also in the warehouse, and also we may have some cherries and fruits. And also we have some empty containers. For these containers, they are used for export. And also I could see for the size of the containers, they're quite different. So as you could see, the size is different, maybe the goods are different in the containers. Yes, indeed. For some of the goods, we use like larger size of the container for the export. But if we for the smaller size of the containers, we may use for domestic trade. So for different size of the containers, they may have different purposes. And also you could see the name of the ship are printed on the cover of the container. So if you look at the color and look at the size, you could tell what is the function of the container. And we just talk about each day, the throughput is about like 49,000 containers. So in general, the workload is quite heavy. Maybe we may face some of the challenges. My question is how we manage the workflow. Well, we make schedules and also we make plans. And also we have very advanced operating system, and we will operate the machines to help us to do the job. And here I could see a very large bridge crane. What is that? So this is the operating room for the bridge crane. So in the operating room, we have drivers to operate the bridge cranes to transfer the packages or the containers from the ship to the land. So all in all, we need to have a seamless workflow and also require a high efficiency for the driver. Can we go inside of the operating room? So today in the seaport container terminal, you could see we're suffering from the strong wind. And actually it is quite steep in this place. So right now you could see I'm standing on the glass. I have to be careful. I think this place is around 5 square meters, and this is the operating room for the bridge cranes. So for the operator, they have to send out instructions, and also the cranes will help to bring the containers from the ship to our tugs. So right now we are actually working on this process. We are trying to bring some of the containers to the trailers. Actually, I'm quite scared just by standing here. So what is the speed for the trailer? So actually we can control the speed. So on average, the speed is about 24 meters per second. Now you could see for the operators, they are already doing the work. They are trying to transfer the container from the ship to the trailer. Let's take a look. I think it requires a very high precision. It's like a point-to-point docking of the container. We need to provide a lot of trainings to the operators. So for all of these operators, they have to go through a half year of training, and then they need to get a certificate. So in the Nansha Seaport Container Terminal, I believe all these people need to have a professional certificate, and also it is a test for their capability. Well, actually, for these people, they have to operate large size of the machinery. So that's why they need to have a very good skill to operate all of these machines and the system. So for some of the operators, in the past, maybe they only work on smaller size of the machinery with half year of the trainings, and then they know how to operate the system, and then they're able to transfer the containers to the trailers. So for these like bridge cranes drivers or bridge cranes operators, what is the biggest challenge for them? I think this is also one of their advantage. For example, they have to act swiftly. They need to make very fast and precise decisions. But what happens if they miss? Well, if they're not able to get the containers to the targeted places, so they have to do it again. And for some of the containers may be locked, and they have to do it all again. So how many times they have to do this work? Well, it's hard to say, because for each hour they have to make at least 27 moves. So maybe each day they have to transfer over 200 and 300 containers. So it requires a very high level of skills and the persistency for these operators. So right now you could see one of the containers is put in place. Now we are adjusting the cranes. Well, I just still feel very scared just by standing here. So just like we are on the roller coaster. So how many hours do they work? They work 8 hours per day. And of course they have some lunch breaks. And also maybe they could have some rest during the shift. So in the operating room, you could see different buttons on the operating panel. Yes, indeed, this place is quite sophisticated. It's just like Transformers. And so for different color of the buttons, it has different functions. And actually in this diameter, you could see they have different index. Can you tell us more about the function of the buttons? For example, for some of them, it will show the height. For example, the first line, like 32 meters, meaning that for the machine, it has a 32-meter distance with the container. And also for some of the screens, it will monitor the speed of the wind. So for different buttons, it will control different parts of the bridge cranes. And for example, how they control the arms of the cranes, etc. So for the operation, they have to follow a very strict standard. Yes, we have an SOP to run all of these bridge cranes. So right now we have finished the unloading of one container. Now actually we are in a vertical shape compared to the ship. Later maybe we will talk to the bridge crane operator. But first we have to wait for him to complete his job. So first we have to lift the container to a safe distance. And then when we unload the container, the work has been completed. Now you could see we are moving backwards. When we are coming back to the original position. All right. Good afternoon. So this is Mr. Feng, the operator of the bridge crane. So how long have you been working in this place? I've been working here for over 10 years. So I think this work is quite tough because you have to look downwards. I think this may not be very good for your health, especially for your neck. Well, in my spare time, I will go back to my family and also I will do some exercise to stay fit. So maybe after some time of work, you have to relax your muscle and relax yourself. So from time to time, I have to relax my muscle. So what is your first job? Well, after I graduate and then I go to the seaport right ahead. So at the beginning, I also work for the cranes, but later on, I transfer my position to the bridge crane operator. So I think right now your job is more challenging. So what is the most difficult part for you? How you train yourself to become a bridge crane operator? Well, I believe my boss trusts me a lot. And they give me a lot of support. Then right now, I'm capable to be a bridge crane operator. So I just saw the whole process for your work. You have done a very good job. It is quite precise. So when you are lifting the containers, it feels like you are catching the dots from the price call machines. So what did you learn from your master? When I first get in touch with the bridge cranes, so we have to be bold and also we have to think carefully. So for the containers, I could tell the size is quite different. So in this case, you have to be very considerate. But how do you judge the size of the container? How to use the precise tool to lift the container? So, for example, for this one, the container, it is quite large, like 40 inches, and then we have a specific claw and try to lift the container. For different size, we have different tools to manage all of these containers. We have to get used to these buttons and understand what are their functions. And also for these operators, they have to communicate from the ground staff. So if they are not sure about the situation of the container, they could call to the control center and then to make the next steps. So when we come into this place, we could see for the operator, they keep communicating with the ground staff. So maybe there are maybe some reminders to the operator from the ground staff, and also they are reminding with each other about the safety tips. So Mr. Feng, and did you go back to your hometown for the Spring Festival? No. So it is my first time, the second time I didn't go back to my hometown for the Spring Festival. Did you miss your family members? Yes. My wife and my kids are waiting for me for the holiday. I also want to go back to my hometown to have a reunion with them. But the seaport terminal is quite busy, so we need these workers to stay on their post to operate the operation of the seaport. So for the operators, they are actually one part of a big machine. So in order to ensure that the whole system working well, we have to make sure that everyone can play their role. So in this place, it is a bridge crane area, and also we have so many shelves in this seaport container terminal. We have the beam structure, and for some of the structures, it will help us to send out the ships. So, for example, in one ship, if it has a size with over 400 meters, and then we need to make sure we could use the bridge crane operating system to operate the ship and to load the containers. So I really can feel the technologies are working here. Because in this place, we could see the seaport container terminal is working well, and also for the bridge crane system, it could help to maintain the order of all of these containers. So I understand that you use a lot of technologies to complete your work. So what kind of the technologies you are using? So actually each day we have a schedule. For example, who are the people to manage the bridge cranes and who are the people to manage the containers. We have very scientific schedule and a plan to manage the seaport. So for example, for each one of the machines, we have to make sure that they're working well, they're in good condition. So right now we are in the phase 1 and 2 for the Nansha Seaport. And for the Nansha Seaport, we also have phase 3 and phase 4. So what are the situation there? For the phase 4, it is a little bit different. We are using a lot of remote control system for the bridge cranes. And also we have the IGE, and also we have some automatic transferring system. I would say for phase 4, it is quite intelligent. So this year, I would say for the operation efficiency of the seaport, will have a 15 to 20% increase compared to last year. We just talked about this year, the throughput is about 49,000 per day. So I believe in the near future, this kind of throughput will continue to improve, right? Yes, in this case, we still have to improve the capability of our people, and also we have to improve the efficiency of the technologies. You just talked about phase four, and actually, that is an unmanned system we are using. So in this case, we depend more on the technologies. It is more digital for the phase four in the seaport in Nansha District. And also, we could see for the seaport, it is quite comprehensive transportation hub. We have the logistics going on here, and also we have the transportation going on here. We have the loading and the unloading, and then we're sending all of the goods we are receiving here to different corners of China. Start from last year, we had a breakthrough. So we are actually coordinating with the seaports, with the land transportation and the air transportation. On one hand, it will help to improve the efficiency of the operation of the seaport container terminal, and also on the other hand, we are able to meet the demands of different customers. All in all, we want to improve the customer services. So I believe for the demand of the customers, maybe they have higher expectations. Yes, indeed. Especially, I would say, for the cherries. So for many customers, they love cherries and they want to have cherries on their New Year table. And that's why we work with the customs closely so that the custom can help us to send those fruits to the customers. So I would say for the seaport container terminal, it play a key role for the development of the transportation in China, and especially it serves the Greater Bay Areas and also serve the whole country. So you have been working here for such a long time. So what is the trajectory of the development of the Nansha Seaport Container Terminal? What is your view? So right now, the Nansha District Seaport Terminal, it is the core for the Greater Bay Area. But in the future, I believe with the rising of the eastern and the western part of the Pearl River, I believe in the future the throughput will continue to rise. I hope in the future the seaport container terminal will continue to grow, and also maybe in the future we could see more technologies are using in this place. But right now we are still on the trailer right now. We are in the operating room of the bridge crane. And actually today we just have a quick sneak peek of the operation of the Nansha Seaport Container Terminal. And today it is the first workday after the Spring Festival. Now I could feel the prosperity and the thriving in this place. And also I hope this new look will continue. We always say for the Nansha Seaport Container Terminal is filled with technology, and also its role has been significantly improved year after year. I believe in the future, Nansha Seaport Terminal will help to boost the development of the Greater Bay Area and also to help to boost development of China. That's the part from Nansha Seaport Container Terminal. Thank you. Dear viewers, good afternoon. My name is Sun Mengzhuo. So right now I'm in Guangzhou District, a construction site. And for this place, soon we will have the sub-center, the underground integrated transportation hub. Actually, today is the first day when people return to work. Actually, today is the seventh day of the first lunar month of 2023. Right now, you could see it is quite busy here. The workers are back to work, and also it is the first work day. I was quite amazed by this scene. So I believe during the Spring Festival, when people are visiting the temple fair, the shopping malls. So today I will show you something different. I will show you about the construction site. Also, I'm very pleased to introduce with you our special guest. So please say hi to the viewers. Good afternoon. So I am Jiang Yue from the China Construction Group, responsible for the sub-center underground integrated transportation hub construction. So maybe just take us to a quick tour in this construction site. So when we arrive in this place, you will see a lot of machineries here. Can you tell us more about these machineries, the hoisting machines? So what are the differences of these machineries? So how many machineries we have on the construction site? So you know what? For all the boys, they would like to operate all of these machineries. And actually, in this place, we have so many different types of machineries. So, for example, we have the bridge cranes, and also we have the tower cranes, different kinds of hoisting machines. So all of these are heavy load cranes. And also we have some vehicle mount cranes. And also we have some drilling machines in the construction site. So for example, if we want to drill a hole, and then we would need to have to use these drilling machines. For these two red machineries, these are quite special in this place. These are the pipeline system. Because for this integrated transportation hub, it is quite sophisticated. We need to have different kinds of machineries. And especially, I would like to emphasize the drilling technique for this transportation hub. We have to drill different layers in order to cement the surface. So I believe right now we are working on the construction of the B1 floor. So right now actually we are working on the underground sector of the transportation hub. So actually this place is located in the underground area of the 6th ring. And here we have so many workers in this place. What are they doing? Actually, they're doing the welding work. So actually for this rebar, they're quite large in size because it has at least 5 meters long for the rebar. And for the workers, they are doing the welding. So for this rebar, the total length is about 40 meters. And then we are trying to combine 2 sets of the rebar. For each one set, we need to have about like 20 workers to do the welding. And it takes about 2 days to complete the welding. Now you could see it's quite a bustling scene in this place. Even though it is quite cold outside, but here I could feel the warmth. And in the Spring Festival, I think for the construction site, we still have many people staying here to continue their work. How many people stay here? What kind of job they are working on during the Spring Festival? Because we have a quite tight schedule because we need to make sure that for this integrated transportation hub could be completed by the end of 2023. So during the Spring Festival, we have at least 700 to 800 people working here during the Spring Festival, including the managerial team. So they have to build up the walls for the underground integrated transportation hub, and also they still have to do the welding of the rebars. So basically, they didn't take a break during the Spring Festival. So I would like to have a chat with the workers. Maybe we understand how they spend the Spring Festival and how they feel for the holiday. Maybe this gentleman. Good afternoon. Maybe you could introduce yourself. So I'm the person in charge for the underground integrated transportation hub construction project, and it is quite a pity that I'm not able to go back to my hometown to spend the Spring Festival with my family members because it is quite busy here. We have heavy workload, so in order to serve our nation, we have to give up the holiday, even though we feel a little bit pitied not to spend the holiday with my family members, but still we feel very proud to stay on our post. So would you like to say some words to your family members? So I feel quite sorry for my families, but with this opportunity, still I would like to say Happy New Year to you all, because your son is actually making contribution to the nation. Again, Happy New Year. So where did you come from? I'm come from Chongqing. Maybe you could use your local dialect. I came from Chongqing. To my mother and father, Happy New Year. Very impressive. So also I would like to talk to some of the welding workers. Happy New Year. So where did you come from? I'm from Shandong province. Hello everyone. I'm from Shandong. So this year you also stay on the construction site during the Spring Festival, right? Anything to say to your family members? Even though this year I'm not able to go back to my hometown, but still I want to make my own contribution to the construction of the municipality. Still, I would like to say Happy New Year to my family members. Happy New Year. So maybe you could also use your Shandong dialect to wish everyone a Happy New Year. Okay, I will try. Thank you. So right now they're doing the welding work of the rebar. And also for this tower crane, I think it is also doing the same thing. Yes, they're also working on the rebar. So for the crane, it's actually lifting the rebars. And just at the beginning, you could see we have the drilling part, and then we have to weld all of different parts of the crane, and then for the cranes, it will lift all the rebars and doing the casting again. And after we complete the casting, and then we have to use another crane and a pipeline machine to have a positioning of the different parts of the rebar. I think that is a key work of the overall procedures. So for example, we first have to lay the foundation and then we have to lay out different rebars. And in this place, I could see another tower cranes. So what's happening in this place? So for these two machinery, they are not tower cranes. This is another kind of the lifting machine. So as I said, we have to do the drilling first. And then for this, what we call the tower cranes, it have to help to maintain the structure. So right now in Beijing, we have to make sure that the foundation is solid and dry. And we have to make sure that this place is completely waterproof. After we complete the building of the walls, after we make sure that the foundation is solid, we need to avoid moisture. And after we build out all of these walls, and then we could have these cranes to transport some of the earth here. And then for the workers still working on the welding of the rebars. So after we complete the wall part, and then we will lift some of the rebars to consolidate the walls. So this is how we consolidate the foundation. So this is the overall framework of the foundation. So when we are building the walls, we have to make sure that there's no penetration of the water inside of the structure. This is to make sure that we have a very solid structure of the underground system. So when we are doing the work in this place, we have to make sure there's no water penetration. Because in Guangzhou District, from time to time, the water level is quite high. We have to make sure that for the foundation is waterproof. So except for the workers who are staying in this place, and I believe some other migrant workers will come back to work, right? So when all the workers will be back to work? So in two sectors, I think they have to work continuously during the Spring Festival. And but we have like 4 major groups for the project. So on the 5th and the 6th day of the first lunar month, I think most of the people already come back to their work position. I believe by the 15th day of the first lunar month of 2023, all people will come back to work. So after people come back to work, so how many people will be staying in the construction site? Well, that depends on the schedule of the construction. Well, I would say by 15th days of the lunar month, I think we may have about like 3,000 workers in this place. So I believe this is quite large in size. Well, that is not the peak, right? Because for this place, it is quite large in size. For the transportation hub, it has around like 128 square meters. It is also the Asia's largest underground integrated transportation hub. So at the peak time, I believe we have around like 10,000 workers staying in the construction site on the same time. Right now, we are actually staying on the B1 floor, so you could not feel the scale of this program, this project. But at the peak time, we have at least like 10,000 people working together for this transportation hub. So in this place now you could see so many cranes and the lifting machines. So for all of these places, these are the construction sites for this underground Eastern Integrated Transportation Hub. Actually, on the other side of the East 6 Ring, it is also part of the transportation hub. We always say this place it is the Asia's largest underground integrated transportation hub. Indeed, I could feel this is quite large in size. And also we could feel China it is the strongest in the infrastructure builders. So we just talk about the scale of this project. So after we complete the construction of the transportation hub, so what will be some of the highlights of this hub? So I just share with you some of the construction progress of this program. And we just say we visited a temple fair in the spring festival, and right now we are coming to the construction site today. But in the end, we will complete this program after we complete the construction of the underground integrated transportation hub. I would like to give you some numbers, and later I will show you some map. So actually, for this place, it has 1.28 million square meters in size. This is just the underground part, and also we have the ground area. But right now we are working on the underground area. This is the Asia's largest underground integrated transportation hub. People may ask why we want to put such a large size transportation hub underground. This is because we want to bring some of the transportation network underground. And for the ground services, we want to return to the municipal development. So in the future, you will see a very sophisticated transportation network in this place. For example, we will see the subway line work, and also we have some intercity train line, and also we have some railway running underground in this transportation hub. So all in all, it is quite sophisticated. We try to bring all of the transportation network below. And on the ground, maybe we want to build some commercial centers, and also we want to build some parks, and this will make a difference for the city. So that said, we will bring all the stations, the terminals, the transportation network underground. So in the future, for some of the subway line and the bus lines will be bring underground. And when people come into this place, it is not just to take a bus or take a train. Maybe they could also have some entertainment in this place. And also in this area, we will also build a seaport. So this is quite a comprehensive and integrated place. So this is part of the municipal landscape. It is not just a transportation hub. We hope in the future we have more discoveries in this place. And for this place, it could save more local residents. And when people coming here, they're not just coming for transportation, they could also enjoy their life in this place. And also in this place, you could see there are so many residential places. After we complete the construction in this area, it could serve the residents who are living nearby. So actually right now in this place, the residential area, it is quite mature, and we still have to build this transportation sub-center hub. So that's why we are facing a lot of challenges when we are doing the construction. Then we have to have a lot of the innovative ideas to build the transportation hub. The sub-center actually is in the southern part of Beijing. It feels like we are moving the transportation network eastwards. And also we are trying to coordinate the transportation network with the economic development. For example, for some people, they are living in the western side or in other parts of Beijing. After this transportation hub is put in use, it will bring in some of the conveniences to our local residents. After we complete the transportation hub, I would say within like 15 minutes you could go to the airport, and within like 35 minutes you are able to arrive at the Daxing International Airport, and within like 40 minutes you could go to Tangshan and also Tianjin, and within like 30 minutes you could you could come to the Xiong'an area. So I would say in the future, this is a Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei transport network. This is quite convenient. And you just talk about the model TOD. Can you tell us more what it stands for? What is the philosophy of TOD? So this is a transport-oriented development. We want to make sure that we have to take the full advantage of the transportation, and also we can bring in more commerce and commercial services and entertainment into the transportation hub, so that more people would like to visit this transportation hub, so they could enjoy their lives in this place. So that is my understanding. Because in China, many places have been challenged this idea, and people really want to connect the transportation with the daily life with our people. Well, all said, it is that we are using the transportation as an opportunity to boost the development of the surrounding areas. So now we're coming closer to the construction site. So during the Spring Festival, do we provide some, for example, welfare benefits to the workers? Well, I just said that we have about like 700 to 800 people staying on site during the Spring Festival. Actually, it is a test for all of us. For these people, when they're staying on the construction site, we also send out greetings to these people, and also we improve the standards for their meals. They have to eat well, they have to take a good rest, and also we organize a lot of events. For example, we organize karaoke for the workers, and also we have a lot of galas for the workers. We have to make sure that when they work here, they also can enjoy the Year of Rabbit. As one of the workers said, he feels very proud to be part of the construction program to build Asia's largest underground integrated transportation hub. Actually, all of them can feel they are quite proud to be engaged in this program. I could feel they're quite energetic, they're in a very high morale. And also from the R&D Center of Beijing, we understand that in January, Beijing already kicks off 33 major programs, and in the rest of the day, they also need to work on over about like 20 programs. So I believe there will be more opportunities for Beijing's future development. So after the 15th day of the first lunar month, for example, after the Lanterns festival, all the people will come back to work. So right now we are working on the underground part. So after the Lantern Festival, what will be some of the new programs coming up? When we come to this place, actually it is a very small part of the transportation hub. And we have to make sure that we complete the whole thing by the end of 2023. So after Lantern Festival, so everything will be back on track. For example, we have to complete the structural building, and also we have to complete the maintenance of the road, and also we need to have to work on the earth. So I believe after the Lanterns Day, we will have more a bustling scene in this construction site because we have the same goal. We have to complete the construction by the end of 2023. We have to spare no efforts to fulfill our duties. Can you tell us more about the precise schedule? For example, what is the approximate date for us to open the transportation hub? Well, for this transportation hub program, for the core piece, it is the transportation, right? Because we have to connect the transportation network between Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei province. And also, we need to integrate some of the subway line into this transportation hub. So that said, we have to consider different pieces. So I think by the end of 2024, the overall integrated transportation hub will be opened and completed. But this is the estimated time. So I just talked about now we are working on the underground part, but we still need to work on the ground sector. For example, we need to build up these commercial centers and also the parks, etc. But at the early stage, the underground transportation hub will be completed by the end of 2024. We are quite looking forward to this transportation hub. I am quite excited. You just said for the two major train line and also the metro line will be integrated into this underground transportation hub. So what about the road transportation? Do we have the road transportation line inside of this area? Well, right now we are planning that we will include 15 public bus into the transportation hub, and also we will have some special places designated for the car hailing. So I believe in the future we will try to integrate all the different kinds of the transportation means into this area. So we just talked about subway line 6 and also the Pingbu line, meaning that we are trying to connect Beijing from the east to the west and from the south to the north. So this is what we are doing here. We are trying to build a comprehensive integrated hub here. And it is not just to serve the people living in Beijing, but also we just talked about we are trying to integrate some of the transportation between Beijing, Tianjin, and the Hebei province. For example, in the future, for people who are living in Tianjin, maybe if they visit this place, they could go to Beijing in a faster time. And also, we welcome the residents to visit this transportation hub after this place has been completed, because this is not just a traditional one. This is quite a innovative and integrated hub. As I said, we will building parks, we will building commercial centers. You could enjoy your life, and also we could see different forms of business in this transportation hub. So after the transportation hub completed, make sure you pay a personal visit to this place. In a conventional or what we call an old school transportation hub, people may think of the train station or airports. People do not want to go to these places. But after we complete the construction of these integrated hub, you will have a complete different experience. I believe this will change some of our habits of our travel. Yes, that is how TOD model works. We hope when people start their travel, the transportation hub is just one stop for them. It is not the destination for them. When they are coming to this place, they are not just for taking the train or taking a bus. Maybe they come to this place for shopping, or they may come to this place for entertainment. And this is our hope and our expectation for the future development of this integrated hub. So you could find everything you want in this transportation hub. It is not just for the transportation network. And also, in this place, you would not just visit some places in Beijing. You could also take a fast train, a bullet train to Tianjin, or also you could take a bullet train to other parts of China. And today we are seeing the construction site for the underground site. So maybe we are not able to see some of the construction on the ground part. Well, in the ground part, we are just leaving some of the framework here. We're still working on the structure. In the future, we are trying to connect this place with a joy city. And also we are trying to get some of the sunlight from the ground sector. So even though you are staying underground, you could still feel the sunlight above. So even though you're coming to this place in winter, you could still enjoy the sunlight. And also the glass structure also trying to save some of the energy. On the ground part, we have saved the structure. And also on the different parts of the transportation network, we are also reserve some of the places for future construction. For example, we try to utilize the land, and people can build hospitals, they could build commercial centers, and there are a lot of innovative ideas to make this place much entertaining for the local residents. So I believe in the future when people come to this place, they could enjoy a beautiful scenery. So maybe in the future, as I said, we will connect this network to the seaport. Maybe you could also enjoy some boating time with your friends. Well, the concept is quite new. So, for example, for this place, if it is a transportation hub, it is not just an underground hub, because above the ground, you could still see some modern elements. For example, you have the office buildings, you have the parks. Well, I can't wait to see what it looks like. As Mr. Jiang just said, by 2024, we are able to see some parts of this transportation hub will be put in use. Let's look forward to the completion of this transportation hub. If you have time, make sure you pay a visit by the end of 2024, the sub-center integrated transportation hub. And also, we would like to pay tribute to these diligent workers, because without their efforts, we are not able to complete the construction. So that's my part from Beijing. integrated transportation hub. Thank you.